Good morning, everyone. Welcome all veterinarians and the guests who are here for the sixth webinar of the Wildlife Disease Investigation webinar series 2024-25. I welcome all of you on behalf of Asian Elephant Support and Life Trust India. I am Daniel, representing Life Trust India, Coimbatore. And we are happy to just tell that this is the sixth and last webinar of this series. So far, we presented 16 presentations from different topics and all related to wildlife disease investigation webinar. And this will be the final webinar of this series. All presentations or all previous presentations are available in the YouTube, and we'll be sending the links of all the previous presentations to all of you through email as well as through WhatsApp. You're most welcome to just go and listen to watch it, and also to just refer to other people as well. This webinar is recorded, and if you have any questions, you're most welcome to just type it in the chat box, and all questions will be attended at the end of the workshop, at the end of the webinar. And once again, just welcome all of you for this webinar. Now, I request Dr. Heidi Redl, the PI of this webinar series, to introduce the presenters. Over to Heidi, please.
Thank you, Daniel. Yes, I would like to welcome everyone on behalf of Asian Elephant Support. As Daniel said, we're working with Life Trust India for these webinars. The first presentation is actually a pre-recorded presentation because the veterinarian, the presenter, is attending a workshop, but he will be logging in for the question and answer session. So we do encourage you to still put either questions in the chat or wait until the end of the presentation, and then once he logs in, you can ask him as well directly so that we can get the questions and the answers recorded for the YouTube. So the first presenter is Dr. Ravikant Khobragade. He's a senior wildlife veterinarian and head of the rapid rescue team from the Tadoba-Andhari Tiger Reserve in India. He has 13 years of field experience dealing with free-ranging wildlife. He has chemically immobilized 90 tigers, 54 leopards, and 14 elephants involved in human-elephant conflicts, or also done that on behalf of wildlife research projects and rescue. He was the first to detect EHV, the elephant endotheliotropic herpes virus, in Asian elephants in the state of Maharashtra. And he was awarded Best Wildlife Veterinarian by Sanctuary Asia Foundation. So Daniel, I'd like to request that you play Dr. Ravi's presentation. His presentation today will be on health issues of tigers and leopards in India.
Good morning. Asian Elephant Support and Life Trust India invites me as a speaker on wildlife disease investigation webinar, and my topic is wildlife health in India. So first of all, let me introduce myself. Dr. Ravikant S. Khobragade, Veterinary Officer, Wildlife, and Head Rapid Rescue Team, Tadoba-Andhari Tiger Reserve, Chandrapur, Maharashtra State, India. Today we will discuss the health issues of tigers and leopards in India. As you know all, leopards and tigers are the apex predator which plays crucial role in maintaining the balance of ecosystem. Both they regulates prey population, preventing overgrazing and ensuring the health of vegetation. The presence of these large carnivores is an indicator of a healthy and diverse ecosystem. Tigers are at the top of the food chain, controlling the population of herbivores like deer and wild boar. Protecting the tigers also benefits other species that share their habitat, contributing to overall biodiversity. Tigers' presence signifies a healthy ecosystem as they are sensitive to habitat degradation and other threats. You all of know that India has a significant tiger population with laws and conservation efforts aimed at protecting them and the habitat they inhabit. Also, leopards, as we discussed, that it's a apex predator, so it also helps to regulate the population of their prey, which can include deer, wild boar and primates. Leopards also plays a vital role in maintaining the balance of their specific ecosystem, particularly in mountainous regions. Leopards are adaptable and opportunistic hunters, able to prey on a wide variety of animals. Leopards can thrive in various habitats including forest, grasslands and even urban areas also. In essence, both the tigers and leopards are essential components of the Indian ecosystem, contributing to its biodiversity and stability. Now we will discuss the threats to the tiger and leopard's health. The main are the habitat loss, poaching, human wildlife conflict, parasitic infections, diseases and dental problems, which are impacting their survival and overall health. These threats are interconnected and contribute to the tiger's endangered status. Diseases like canine distemper virus, which can cause respiratory, gastrointestinal and neurological issues in tigers, potentially leading to the death. Rabies, which is not common as CDV, but rabies is also the serious threat to both the tigers and leopards, potentially causing neurological symptoms and death. Toxoplasmosis, this is the parasitic disease, can cause variety of symptoms including lethargy, weight loss and neurological issues in both the species. Recently, H5N1 virus, which is a strain of avian influenza also known as bird flu. Recently in India, there have been documented cases of tigers death because of H5N1, which some individuals died at Bala Saheb Thackeray Gorewada International Zoological Park in Nagpur. 3 tigers and a leopard were confirmed to have died from the H5N1 virus in this zoo. Tigers and leopards can also susceptible to other diseases such as bacterial infection, fungal infections and parasitic infections. Poaching for their fur and other body parts often leads to the injuries, including gunshot wounds and other traumas. The conflicts with humans such as retaliatory killing or accidental injuries can also lead to the injuries. Tigers and leopards may also sustain injuries from fighting with other animals or sometimes members of their own species. Now we can come to the next factor, that is stress and habitat loss. The inadequate enclosures, lack of social interaction and stress from human presence can impact the health of captive tigers and leopards also. The loss of habitat due to urbanization, deforestation and other human activities can lead to reduced genetic diversity, increased stress and increased susceptibility to diseases. Isolation of tiger and leopard population can lead to reduced genetic diversity, making them more vulnerable to diseases and environmental changes. So overall, threats like habitat loss, poaching, human wildlife conflicts significantly impact the tiger and leopard population, leading to population decline, increased vulnerability and reduced genetic diversity. These threats disrupt ecosystem, decrease prey availability and can lead to the retaliatory killing. Habitat loss and fragmentation requires tigers and leopards requires large territories and diverse habitat for hunting, breeding and survival. Due to loss of habitat and fragmentation, that is because of human activities like deforestation, agriculture and infrastructure development destroy and fragment their habitats. The consequences of this, There is a reduced space and resources leading to competition of prey and increase the stress. Increased vulnerability to poaching as tigers and leopards venture into unprotected areas in search of food and territory. Potentially for inbreeding in isolated population, reducing genetic diversity and making them more susceptible to the diseases. Disrupts natural prey population, further reducing the food. Poaching and illegal trades. Poaching, particularly for their body parts like bones and skins, is the major threats for tiger and leopards also, which impact direct mortality of adult tigers and leopards, reducing reproductive potential and overall population size. Disrupts family groups, impacting the survival of cubs and kittens. Can lead to a decrease in genetic diversity within fragmented population. Third point is human-wildlife conflict. The conflict arises when they interact with humans and their livestock, often resulting in retaliatory killing by humans. Human-wildlife conflict due to human-wildlife conflict, there is an increased mortality of tiger and leopards, particularly those that engage in livestock predation. Reduce over reproductive success and population growth as a dominant individual as targeted. Creates a cycle of fear and antagonism between human and wildlife, hindering long-term conservation efforts. The changes in the temperature, precipitation and prey availability can disrupt their habitat and survival. The climate change impacts heavily because changes in the prey species distribution and abundance impacting the food availability to them. Climate change increases the competition for resources including water and food during the period of scarcity. Climate changes increase the risk of diseases transmission and outbreaks in stressed population. The conservation efforts tackles issues like poaching, habitat loss, community conflicts through multi-phased approach. This includes anti-poaching measures, habitat protection, community involvement and research. Anti-poaching involves the stricter enforcement of laws, utilizing technology like drones and camera traps, and partnering with NGOs. Habitat protection focuses on creating and maintaining the protected areas, restoring fragmented landscapes, and mitigating populations. The community involvement involves educating the people population, providing them with economic alternatives, and providing coexistence with wildlife. The research plays a crucial role in understanding the species and ecosystem, developing effective conservation strategies, and monitoring the effectiveness of conservation efforts. The anti-poaching measures what we have to taken: stronger law enforcement, including increased patrol, training of rangers, and strict penalties for poaching. Using advanced technology like drones, camera traps, and GPS tracking to monitor wildlife and identify the poachers. Collaboration, which deals with the working with NGOs and international conservation agencies to share the information and expertise. Habitat protection, which includes the establishing and managing the national parks, sanctuaries, and other protected areas to safeguard biodiversity. Reconnecting fragmented landscape, planting native vegetation, and restoring the degraded habitats. Pollution control, reducing pollution from industrial and agriculture sources to protect water and air quality in the wildlife habitat. Third point is community involvement, education and awareness. Educating the local communities about the importance of wildlife conservation and the benefits of coexistence. Providing the local communities with sustainable livelihood that don't rely on poaching or habitat destruction. The coexistence, the promoting the coexistence between the human and wildlife through community-based conservation programs. The research part is very important, that is conducting the research on species biology, behavior and ecology to inform conservation strategies. Studying ecosystem processes and interaction to understand how different species and habitat relate to each other. Monitoring and evaluating the effectiveness of conservation efforts and making adjustment as needed. Tigers and leopards faces various health issues including disease outbreaks, and conservation efforts focus on habitat protection, anti-poaching measures and addressing human-wildlife conflict. Diseases, threats like canine distemper virus in tiger can impact population dynamics and prey availability. Conservation programs such as Project Tiger in India aim to maintain the viable tiger population and preserve the critical habitats. The canine distemper virus has been linked to localized decline in tiger population and increased risk of extinction. Reproductive diseases, neonatal, juvenile problems, and diseases that reduce the prey abundance can also threaten the tiger population. The Project Tiger, launched in 1973 in India, which established tiger reserves and implemented anti-poaching measures. It also focuses on protecting habitat and facilitating ecological development in buffer zones and addressing human-wildlife conflict. In specifically, you can say that you can see the example of Sariska Tiger Reserve in India, which have the successful reintroduction of tigers after population wipeout due to poaching and encroachment. The Corbett Tiger Reserve, also in India, was the first of its kinds, established in 1973. Leopard specific, you can say that's similar to tigers. Leopards are susceptible to diseases and prey availability is crucial for their survival. Conservation efforts for leopard often involve the habitat protection, anti-poaching measures, and community engagement to mitigate human-leopard conflict. Basically, in that leopard case, you can have the example like that the Indian government efforts to conserve the leopards, particularly in the region facing habitat degradation and poaching, are the crucial for the long-term survival. Diseases like canine distemper virus can negatively impact the tiger and leopard population by reducing their survival and reproduction. Loss of degradation of habits, often due to human encroachment and deforestation, are major threat to both the species. Poaching for the parts of the animals, particularly in case of tiger, remains a serious threat. Conflict between human and tiger or leopards over resources, including livestock predation, can lead to retaliatory killing and further endanger population. Case strategies include the protecting habitat, reducing human-wildlife conflict, combating poaching, and promoting the sustainable tourism and agriculture. That can be used as a conservation strategies. Right now, in my sense, the India needs continued tiger and leopard conservation efforts to maintain the biodiversity, support the local communities, and promote the ecotourism, as this apex predator plays very vital role in the healthy ecosystem. These efforts includes addressing poaching, improving habitat connectivity, and mitigating human-wildlife conflict. The key points which should be noted and that should be need for the continued efforts, like the tiger is apex predator role, tiger is an umbrella species, then tiger and leopard population supports the ecotourism, which provides the livelihood and communities living near protected area, making them active participant in the conservation efforts. Habitat loss and fragmentation, that is very important. The habitat loss and fragmentation are major threats leading to genetic bottlenecks and reduce the biodiversity. Establishing corridors and expanding protected area is very crucial. Poaching, that is again the main threat to the Indian tiger and leopard also. Human-wildlife conflict between the tigers and humans, also in leopards also, can be resolved through mitigating strategies including early warning system, community-based solutions, sustainable livelihoods. India has the Project Tiger, which has been instrumental in tiger conservation, but ongoing efforts are essential to ensure its long-term success. The climate changes poses a growing threat to the wildlife habitat and requires adaptation strategies. The monitoring and research, continued research and monitoring are the crucial to track population, understand threats, and adopt conservation strategies. So, in the conclusion, I can say that the continued effort are essential to protect tiger and leopard population in India, not only for their own sake but also for the health and the biodiversity of the ecosystem they inhabit and for the well-being of the communities that live alongside them. So this is from my side. If any questions or if any queries, you can ask, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ravikant, for the wonderful presentation. And there is a question from Dr. Ravikant. Are you available?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, there's a question from Dr. Gaire. The question is, how is the status of canine distemper virus mortality of tiger and leopards in Maharashtra state?
Sir, thanks, sir. Thanks, Gary. Right now, that's a very good question because as you know, the tiger and leopard has been very high risk because of CDV in all over the world. But right now, in as such, in the CDV in our India is not so far frequent. Last many years ago, we got this cases of CDB in lions only, not in tiger later also. But right now that is controlled, and we are taking care of regarding the animal birth control program in the buffer villages, which will help to reduce the stray dog population also. That means the carrier of the particular CDV. Then again, we are taking care of that disease investigations which are found in the stray dogs during the course of animal birth control program. So that we are I think we have better check in regarding the CDV in our India for the tiger and leopards.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ravikant. And there is one more question, I think. Yeah. For helping health, care of these special animals will be very thankful. Oh, okay. Okay. That's a comment for you, Dr. Ravikanta. Yeah. That's from Prasad. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for Dr. Ravikant?
Yes, I have a question.
Please. Yeah.
So, hi, Dr. Ravi.
Hi.
I have a question for you specifically about leopards. Are leopards, in your experience, have they been more affected by CDV than tigers? I mean, we hear a lot about tigers being affected by CDV, but less about leopards. So, in your experience, what is the bigger problem for leopards?
Very good question and right question you have asked, ma'am. Thank you. Basically, leopard population which are in abundance in right now, you can say it's abundance in our India, basically, and the leopards are residing very close to the human population area, and they are basically though as they are very close to the human population area now, human dominated landscape, they get the very high chances to spread the diseases from the domestic that pets and stray dog also. But that's why there is a high risk in of CDV in leopard in our area. But as compared to as compared to tiger are very they are not very close to the human dominated landscape, and they are not interested to kill the that particularly domestic or stray dogs. So there is a very less chances of transmission of diseases in the tiger, but as compared to leopard. So for this, we tiger reserve, all tiger reserve, most of the tiger reserve, we are having the animal birth control program in the particularly buffer villages where the leopard population is high, and also there is a stray dog population also high. Each and every way is I have taken the survey that in particular one village we got near about 20 to 30 stray dogs and pet dogs, all another things. So around one village we got the 40 to 50 stray dogs population. So that dog population is going on increasing, and that will be the very good and preferable prey for the leopard. So we are we are taking care about the immunization regarding the rabies also and CDB also for the pet dogs. But for the stray dog population control, we are conducting the animal birth control program in the buffer villages, so that we can and during this animal birth control program, during the surgery, we collect the samples for the CDB and all many pathogenic diseases that can be screened out. So recently we found a dog which is positive for rabies in our tiger reserve, but that is not that's why it's always dangerous, but it is not directly contact with the wild animal like tiger. So there is a very less chances, but there are more chances to contact with the leopards. That is again the big issue. But in India, in my sense, in my experience, what I think that our leopard population, which is in urban area like metro cities, like in Mumbai, it's a very good high population in leopard in the urban area of Mumbai. So there are the main prey base is particularly dogs in urban area. So there are more chances of canine distemper virus for the leopard who are residing in the urban areas, as compared to in case of rural areas, in the farmland area, village area. Though there are leopard population, though they are comes very close to the human dominated area, close to the human landscape, but they are preferably in the prey the small like goats, like small calf, but not even dog. Very less chances. Very last what you can option for the rural leopards to get the that dog as a prey. But in the urban, there is a very high chances they will get the main prey as a that particularly dog. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
There is one question from Dr. Palash. The question is, please tell about feline vaccination protocol, especially for big felids. And there is also another question from Dr. Azad, how to reduce these disease or protocol? Almost same question. Yeah, please.
Yeah, it's a very right question, but it's not for right forum. But as I am discussing, I am dealing with the free-ranging wildlife. Okay, so we cannot follow the vaccination protocol of wild animal as such in the free-ranging area. That vaccination protocol and all these things that can be done only in the confined or captivity. Means in zoo there are many that vaccination protocols which are available, and they are following the vaccination protocol for wildlife. But in case of free-ranging animal, we are not as such supposed to do. It's not possible to do the vaccination protocol like against the CDB or anti-rabies or anything. So we are just focusing to prevent the zoonotic diseases which are which will be transmitted from domestic to. So what we do in the forest area, in the free-ranging tiger reserve, we do the focus on the domestic animal vaccination programs. We will strictly follow with the help of animal husbandry department to continue or maintain the vaccination program for the cattle, domestic cattle, goats, and also stray dog and dogs also. That is in our hand only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Ravikant. Any other questions for Dr. Ravikant? If not, we will just, move on to the next presentation.
Thank you. And thank you very much, Dr. Ravi. Very interesting presentation.